What do you really see here with what this man's doing? Is it just that he's cutting down, cultivating broad beans? Because there's actually a lot more going on. What you're really seeing here is a man who's taking responsibility to stop relying on a slave system to provide me with the food. This man's learning to grow the food. This man does not need to rely on machines to provide us with everything that comes into the shops. Right? So what we're really doing here is being conscious of no longer being reliant on a slave system for us to have what we want, so we can run around being self-obsessed and talk about freedom and consciousness and life and joy and parties and social life and running around with machines that we call cars and trains and buses and planes, and relying on the machines that dig mountains, relying on the machines that are in education that brainwashes innocent children to become the cogs in the wheels of the system that you rely on to provide you with everything you need in your home because you go to the shops to buy it. That's unconsciousness. Unconsciousness is when we don't want to look at the reality of just how far we have sold out who we really are to rely on other people to provide us what we need. So in cultivating broad beans here and growing them, we're actually saying we don't need the slave system. Sure, I'm still using this made of metal. Sure, I have to learn to give this up too. We're on a path to get out of this in this life. So it's just like when we're doing carpentry work and we talk about how just to have one screw relies on tens of thousands of brainwashed drones and slaves to provide me with the one screw I'm going to need to use with drills and that to put into making boxes and making things in this garden. Because you can just think about how big it is, the machines that we use to dig the mountains, the machines that turn the metal, those rocks into metal, the amount of people involved in it, all the other subsidiary things that come with it, the big bulldozers and the diggers, and you're looking at the big furnaces that melt the steel, into steel. We're looking at how you need the bankers and the administrators. You need people working in the tax department and the government to administrate all those things. You need people to work on the roads, to maintain the roads and the street lights and all that. You need people to be educated so they know what's red and green and when to move left or right and when to stop or go fast or slow. You need people who work as police to maintain all those people to keep order in this chaotic world of robotic machines. All this is unconsciousness because we're still relying on slaves because we gave up. We sold out. We ourselves are built with all the magnificence to be our own judge, to be the conscience of our own judge, to be the conscience of being our own hospital and medicine and everything. It's built into all of us. We've all got it. But we're so far gone in our state of unconsciousness because we love to talk about things, which is where this man's been most of his life, talking about freedom, talking about everything, still being unconscious. So this video is showing you how a man who's passionate about breaking away from this, not relying on gods or saviors on the side, just simply, we have to take responsibility. So I don't have to rely on someone else to give me what this man needs. So the key is to learn how to become raw food eaters, learning how to eat directly from the forest and recreating food for us. So we're no longer slaves even to doing this, because we can just walk down and eat directly as we need anything we need, from berries and nuts and fruits and herbs and spices and everything. And this is consciousness, because now we are conscious that we do not rely on another man to be our slave, to be our educated slave. And the system is full of educated slavery. So all of you running around with iPods and internet and all that stuff, all of us who do this, we're all lying when we think we're conscious. We're not conscious at all. We're totally dependent on slave systems and slavery. So this is what you're really seeing here. This is what we've got to do to break away.